Cool. Yeah. Hey, great to meet you, Michelle. Great to meet you today.
Hi. Yeah, nice to meet you, Alex. Alex, right?
It's ill. Ill
Oh,
Young, but
Ill.
you can call me
Oh,
ill.
okay.
Yeah.
I guess I saw somebody else's name. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Young. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just gonna give a couple minutes for people to hop in. And then
Mm.
we should be good to go. Uh, yeah. For everyone that's joined in, thank you for joining. Um, Always great to have people at the meetup. So obviously happy. Yeah. Happy New Year, Helen. Hope your New
Yeah,
Year's going
Happy New
well so
Year.
far. Yeah, cool.
I see somebody said they better. It's nice to explain the name Gigi.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a talking point you can go into in the presentation for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So actually, as this person is asking, I'm going to add just one thing quickly.
Sounds good.
So once somebody introduce me, I will turn off my camera because my machine is not powerful enough to have my video streaming and screen sharing at the same time. So when we have a Q&A, I will come back with my face because in this case, we'll demo everything will go very more smoothly.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, that should be perfectly fine. Seeing how many people have joined so far. Cool. Let's give it like 2 more minutes. Um,
Yeah, good time. It's
cool.
fine.
So, Michelle, I think you're in San Jose right now, if that's correct.
Yeah, correct. I mean,
Great.
Northern Cal.
Yeah,
Uh,
NorCal.
yeah. And
Yeah.
my time, yeah, so we're about 3 hours behind you guys. Most of the people are from Washington, from East Coast.
So the two main partnerships are in North America is Toronto and Washington. Yeah, so we would be EST, but then
Eastern
there
time.
is somebody here in the UK and it's 6 o'clock p.m. for them right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you definitely have a wide
It will
range of
be
time
six
zones.
hours from will be like almost like 8 hours for me. I think 8 hour will be like almost 6 o'clock. Yeah, you're 6 o'clock evening time already, right?
Yeah, and then somebody's from Jersey as well, which would also be Eastern time. Yeah, mainly Eastern time for sure, which is
Okay,
3 hours.
good.
Yeah, it's 11. It's 10 o'clock there right now.
Yeah, mine is 10:04.
10:04. Yeah. Is it snowing over there or?
No, no, California never
Yeah,
snow.
that was still right. Yeah, that must be nice.
Very actually quite oh, somebody say from Norway. Wow, cool. It's 7 p.m. already because Norway I think is 9 hours from ours. It's maybe European Central Time.
Yeah, Norway's actually crazy. Yeah, I didn't see that. Wow, that's
Norway. I saw somebody in Norway, yeah. 19 yeah p.m. Central, yeah, Central European time.
that's crazy.
Oh, California State, Southern California, somebody. Hi. Oh, there's some Koreans, 3 a.m.
Yeah, we
Somebody
also got a
so
Korean person here too. That's wow.
somebody, yeah,
That's
somebody Korean, yeah, attending from South Korea. It's 3 a.m. Wow. So do you guys
uh
got a lot of snow on East Coast? Our temperature is really mild. So I guess our coldest will go to a night at around maybe 40 degrees. But the normal time in the morning, we daytime always got like 60 degrees, which is about I think 15 15 Celsius. So it's nice, mild.
yeah. Just I guess answering that on the East Coast, there is a storm going on right now, so there's a lot of
Oh,
snow here so far. It's snowing right now
mm.
actually, so yay. Toronto. Yay.
Yeah. Mm.
Cool. Yeah, okay. I guess we could start. I guess we could just get started. Yeah, I'll just cool.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Hey everyone, thanks for joining the first meetup in the 2024 new year. Um, it's always great to see everyone on the virtual meetings. Today, actually, though, we're going to be exploring a different topic. We're going to be talking about AI today. Just a quick blurb about the speaker today. We have Dr. Michelle Zhao. Um, uh, she's the co-founder and CEO of Juji Inc., an artificial intelligence company based in San Jose, California, Silicon Valley, specializing in combining cognitive and generative AI to create cognitive AI assistants known as AI reps. She has various experience in human-centered AI, having some experience in IBM, um, her leadership being featured at the New York Times, Fortune, MIT Tech Review. I worked as the editor-in-chief of ACM Transactions on Intelligent Systems, which is a premier scientific journal. Also receiving her PhD in computer science from Columbia University in New York. Um, yeah, so she's going to be explaining her topic today will be explaining a concept of cognitive AI agents and how to use the state-of-the-art no-code reusable AI technologies to create cognitive AI agents to automate high-touch, high-value human engagements. She will also be using concrete examples and live demonstrations to showcase the power of AI in real-world applications. So, yeah, without further ado, Dr. Michelle Zhao.
Thank you, Yo, for your kind introduction. And also, I would like to thank Helen for inviting me to this meetup. So I'm going to actually today to talk about because I believe many of you probably have used ChatGPT, which is one of the applications of generative AI and powered by large language models. So what I'm going to talk about it is we also leverage generative AI as well, but in our view, with generative AI, it's not sufficient. So that's why we advance beyond the generative AI with this concept of a cognitive AI, which I will explain using real world examples as well. Because before we started, somebody actually, Mike, I think, maybe from New Jersey, asked the question, maybe explain Juji a little bit. So the company's name is Juji, Juji, as you can see from my screen. But Juji actually is representing two characters. For somebody who know Hanzi characters may be able to recognize. Actually, it's two characters called Juji in Chinese character. I think people from maybe Japan or Korea should be able to recognize Hanzi characters as well. So the meaning of this one is actually, as you can see, because Hanzi is very pictorial, right? It's about actually getting people together and under a roof. It's always thing about people assembly, getting people together. So just want to quickly explain. Then here is my outline of my talk. So first of all, I would like to actually take you through about the definition of a cognitive AI agent, especially saying a little bit about what and why. And then I will share some of the cognitive AI agent applications in the real world and use the real demos as well. And then I would explain how it works, basically behind the scene, because I see people in the audience, some of our computer scientists, right? So they might be interested in more how actually it works. And then I'm going to talk about some of the future work in case folks in the audience wanted to do research, want to collaborate with us. We are always welcome collaboration from a university, from an industry. And because we believe that it really takes the world to create and to democratize AI and cognitive AI. So having said this one, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to turn off my video because sharing screen and the one, it's very difficult. I have a very not so powerful machine to use right now. Just trying to see where it's
Should be
where is
on the bottom left.
where bottom left. Yeah, but it's not on my bottom left. I'm wondering how can I, oh, it is undone. I accidentally moved my
Here, I think I can
video.
just do it on my side. Do you want me to stop your video?
Yeah, can you stop my video? Because in this case, I already
Yeah.
felt like I bit hard to move my cursor. Yeah, great. If you can stop my video, that'll be great. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, so I'm going to start by, although this might be actually preaching to the choir, many people already familiar with AI, but I just wanted to kind of set up the context for our definition of a cognitive AI. So then, and what in our terms, what AI is really machines, they're non-organic things, right? Hardware or software with human skills. So that's our definition of the AI. So then what's generative AI? So generative AI is machines powered with human language skills. So I'm going to stress on language, really language skills, because that's what generative AI started. And in terms of a human language skills, there are two parts of it. Natural language understanding, which means given a natural language, the AI tries to just imitate human language skills to parse it, understand it, to interpret the meaning conveyed by the natural language expressions. Second part of a language skills that humans have it is natural language generation, which means that it is given a set of data or maybe given a situation, how a person would come up with natural language to describe it. So it's natural language understanding and natural language generation. But I wanted to actually give you a very concrete example on this one because to also make a contrast how it is different from cognitive AI. So I'm going to actually go back to my let me actually I'm going to see this one. If you can't see, let me know. Okay. So actually I'm at my account for what I called it my GPT account. Are you guys seeing my screen here? Because I can't see what I'm sharing the screen. So can you see my screen on a chat GPT one, or are you still seeing my screen for the slides?
Yeah, we're seeing the slides still.
Okay. So
Yeah.
maybe I do a new share. Mm,
Yeah, it's a half screen of only slides.
got it, got it. Google Chrome. Yeah. Now I share. Now you should see my
Yeah, we see it.
chat GPT, right? Okay,
Yeah.
great. So I just wanted to demonstrate it, be very simple. So and you have probably have done this one, but probably don't separate it, discretely separate what is NLU, what is NLG. So I'm going to give you example of the NLU first, right? So what NLU example it is, I said, given a question, what brings you here to chat with me today? And giving a response to the question, I was Googling online MBA programs and found you. Does this response answer the question? So as you can see here, humans, you can tell easily whether this response is corresponding to the question or not, right? So now we ask a machine to do this one. So from machine's point of view, it does partially answer the question, but it could be more explicit. The user's response indicate that they found the chat through online search while looking for information for online MBA program. Can say initiate the chat, blah, 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 right? So as you can see here, it does interpret it. Basically, it's processing a language and interpret it and explain it. So this is one, especially large language models do. So from an NLU part of it, I want to make it very explicit. So the NLU part of it, I want to give you another example. So this example, as you can see here, it is I gave the machine a data set. Okay, the data set you can see it is about different type of car models and the vehicle type and transmission, and also the type of number of cylinders and the city mileage and also highway mileage, right, per gallon of the basically fuel efficiency. So what I'm going to ask it is generate a natural language summary to describe the efficiency of the BMW. Okay, so in this case, so you will see, given this information, they come up with natural language generation to say both automatic and manual transmission, which is true because there are two models. One is automatic and one is manual, and it's equipped with a 6-cylinder engine. And basically, just can you see, turn this table basically into the natural language description, right? So NLU, NLG, that large language models do very well. And that's really the basis of generative AI. But now I'm going to go to a next step. Next step it is I'm going to ask something different. I said this one. Oh, I think I didn't. Just give me a moment. I'm going to turn on my I think earlier because I was writing GG, the character, it, ew, I can't, how can I get rid of this? I couldn't find how can I change my, anybody knew how can I get rid of the top bar so I can access my Apple? Crazy. I can't see it. I wanted to change my input, right? Is any one, two, disable annotation for others? I don't understand what it is. Exception, pause recording, share. I don't want to record it. I don't know how to.
Yeah, someone in the chat just said you could move the bar from the bottom to the middle or something. I don't know.
How can I move it? Oh yeah, now I can move it, I guess. See, this is US, right? Better. Okay, so then they said that now you guys can see it, right?
Yep.
Mhm. Because I have some of the interaction with this one, I want to ask what's my career DNA. But you see what I said? What they said? To provide the insights in the career DNA, I would need more information about your skills. Your career DNA is essentially a combination of the maybe you. So I already gave lots of information. Look at this is my interaction history, right? But somehow it can't, through my interaction communication, infer what my career DNA it is. So they basically asked me to seek the identify patterns, seeking feedback from colleagues, whatever it is. So basically didn't tell me what my career DNA it is, right? So that's one. So what does this mean? Why I'm giving this particular example? Now I'm going to go back to do the sharing of my PowerPoint again. Mhm. So next one is what's cognitive AI. So cognitive AI in our what I call it in our and definition it is. So I'm trying to manage this bar. So what's cognitive is cognitive AI. Basically, it's a branch of AI. Many focus on powering machines with advanced human cognitive skills. So cognitive skills includes, of course, language skill is one part of it, as I demonstrated, but it's really beyond just language skills. It's about active listening, which is communication. We call it communication skills. It's not just about you understand language. For example, if you and I are chatting or communicating, we both understand English or we both understand Chinese. But because of our communication skills, we could make our conversation very pleasant, very productive. But on the opposite, if our communication skills are not so good, even though we both understand the same language, but our conversation could be very dry, very boring, even very actually unpleasant, right? So I'm pretty sure you had this kind of situations with folks, a pleasant versus unpleasant conversation, and you know what I meant by communication skills. But more to the communication skills, we also want people to have additional skills such as reading between the lines. So what that means it is, I'm pretty sure in your experience, real life experience, when you talk to people, you're trying to also guess, I would say infer, what does this person really, what is this person like, right? What does this person like? What does this person dislike? What kind of personality this person is? What kind of values? What kind of things this person actually cares about? What kind of needs this person has in terms of a psychological needs or maybe material needs, right? So that's why we're talking about reading between the lines. through communication, through interaction, through engagement, you're trying to figure out who this person it is. That's why you saw I was trying to use ChatGPT to tell me what kind of person it is in terms of my career goals, aspirations, or interests. But obviously, large language models alone could not do that. So that's why I came with cognitive AI agent. So why cognitive agent? Before I give this definition, I wanted to actually talk about the problems first. So thinking about any type of a human well-being services, for example, learning services, educational services. Let's say you are in the middle of your career. You wanted to either change your career or upgrade your career. You want to learn a new skills. So what kind of new skills should you learn? What kind of skills you can quickly grasp and also you can quickly master and you would excel at it. And it's similar in the healthcare domain. Let's say you are recovering or maybe you wanted to stay on a particular well-being track or service, and how you can be encouraged, how you can be persuaded, get into that service or stay on, right? So as you can see, all these different types of well-being services are often high touch because the people who render a services really need to understand you, your motivation, what kind of person you are, and then give you the individualized guidance and persuasions, which I will actually show in a moment in my live demo. And existing approaches to high-touch services are often very high cost. That's why most of us do not have our individual or personalized career coach. And you can tell me later, how many of you have your own personal coach, a career coach? And how many of you have your own personal financial advisor who can work with you on a daily basis? Or how many of you who have actually what I call the learning companions who can help you learn different things and even instruct you on what you should learn and based on your passions and interests, based on your talents and strengths. So existing approaches are very difficult to scale. So I actually use something here because this is one we're currently working with University of Arizona. It's really hard if students come into university, you ask them, say, okay, I would like to help you better. Would you like the personality test? Similarly, in the healthcare, people say this, okay, I'm in the welcome to the emergency room. Would you like to take a personality test? So it's very, how do you say, artificial, not unnatural, not easy to implement it. So this is one where come to cognitive AI agents. So the idea here is to automate high touch services, just like I described, but in a very empathetic way. Second part of it is very important. It is because we want to power cognitive AI agents with those advanced cognitive skills like reading between the lines, so that those agents can automatically derive users' psychographic personality insights to deepen their engagement, to deepen personalized guidance and persuasions, which I will show you in a minute. And so basically, the whole overall goal it is we want to enable genuine human-machine collaboration to help complex, high-value decision making. So that's the really ultimate goal of to really elevate that type of a human-machine teaming in a very empathetic and responsible way. So that's kind of our definition of a cognitive agents. And now you said, okay, still very abstract. And can you give me some examples? So I'm going to give you some very concrete examples. So because currently we have been many apply cognitive AI agents in to automate high-touch human well-being services, especially in 3 areas, which I will show in a minute, to maximize individual potential and well-being. So the first area, it's about education. So in education, what we meant it is we really want to help educational institutes or maybe tech companies to create an AI learning companion for each individual student. So what does it mean here? It's from a beginning in terms of assess the fit of the students' needs and wants and their passion and interests with the academic programs. So that's the first, to help them to find where their passions are, to find where strengths are, and recommend, suggest the right programs or right venues to pursue. And onboard and learning is about checking on the students. That's why we call it companionship, and help students in the learning process, including personalized tutoring and assessment process, and gather continuous insights from students to enable human academic advisors to take the next best action. So for example, figure out where they are in the process and make a risk assessment so human advisors can chime in at the right time, at the right moment, and give the right descriptions, so right guidance, I'm sorry. So I'm going to actually show a live demo, and I'm going to use the learning as an example, and you will see what I meant by personalized tutoring, personalized learning. Again, can you see my screen? I'm at the page right now called I'm an AI tutor in training. Give me a try. I guess probably not. So I'm
No, we're
going to,
still on the AI learning companion slide.
okay. So I'm going to, give me one moment. So I think I have to start this first. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm an AI tutor in training. Give me a try.
Got it.
Yeah.
By the way, this demo is also, if you want to have a link, you don't need to believe me, right? You can try it. I will be happy to share the link with the organizer to this one. So can you see right now, I'm already inside this chat, and the Juji said is, hi, Michelle, I'm a Juji. I'm an AI tutor in training. Currently, I'm being trained to tutor people on 3 topics below. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So actually, because I know I'm coming here for this one, so I'm going to go quantum computing because I know nothing about quantum computing. I know it's a very abstract concept. So that's why I want to see how the AI tutor could help me on quantum computing, right? So it said it is quantum computing is or quantum information theory is a new view of computation and information. By the way, you might ask me, so where did you get the information on quantum computing? So actually, I uploaded a part of the book, it's the Introduction to Quantum Computing, from one of my friends who is teaching quantum computing at the university. So I get those material from him, I uploaded it. So our AI automatically generated a tutorial, and in steps, this is just the start introduction part of it, just give you a background. So he said, to customize my tutorial for you, may I gather some quick information from you first? I said, why are you interested in quantum? I said, I'm working in healthcare. And recently I read a news that talking about maybe just say, I told you, just you can type whatever, on how IBM partners with Cleveland Clinic. You probably guys can see it too, right? And to use quantum computing in healthcare. I would like to learn a bit. So that's my motivation, right? So why I'm interested in, because I work in healthcare. I just heard about this one, and I just want to know a little bit more, right? So in what areas do you have extensive knowledge? I said is, I just said is, I am, now I consider I love to cook, and I consider myself a good chef. Whenever I have time, I cook all sorts of dishes. Again, as I said, I'll be happy to share the link, and you can try yourself to see what you can, what they might be customized for you, right? And now, basically, let's try to use the information, and give a second, tries to give the information. Okay, let's dive into the fascinating world of quantum information theory, a field that marries principle of information theory and quantum. Imagine you are creating a new recipe, just like you do in your kitchen. But this time, the ingredients are the laws of physics and the principle of computation and information. It's a unique blend, has a our understanding of these fields, much like how fusion cuisine has transformed the culinary world. So did you see? So basically, it uses my familiarity and try to adopt and it's led to practical application too. It's in new dishes on the menu of technology. We're talking about innovative algorithm protocols. We're inspired by this theory, like how your cooking lead to a delicious new meal. So it's basically, and now I felt like, oh, I understand now. It's a different types of a computing, right? So it's a connect next. We don't need to go through all of them, but I just want to give you a flavor to see. But thinking about it, when the people are learning a very abstract concepts like quantum computing, like blockchain, like math, right? So you can use those information to look at this, understanding a single uh, qubit, right? Quantum systems. Dive into the next topic, single bit quantum system. Thinking of quantum bits, or as we call them, qubits, as the main ingredients in the recipe of quantum information processing. Just like how you can't cook a dish without ingredients, you can't process quantum information without qubits. Now, the qubits are pretty special. Unlike a classic bit, just like a salt and pepper can only be 0 and 1. Say no salt, can take on a wide range of value. You can like the variety of spices in your kitchen. So it's very kind of really dumb it down, right? To help you to understand it. So that's why I'm going to stop it here and going back to my slides actually. Okay, so I'm going to go back and forth a little bit. So then my next application, so I'm going to show you this one. By the way, I'm pretty sure you have questions, but let's just hold on the one. I will be happy. So the next question, it's about, I don't understand what this means. Okay. So the next one, it's about cognitive AI agent for HR. So this is actually very natural. So basically for human capital management, human resource management. So what happened here is instead of being a learning companion, this is for workplace companion. So workplace companion is, for example, to match candidates with job roles. For example, some candidates may be very suitable for one job role, let's say marketing, but less than for our computer programming, maybe for let's say business management. So most of people may not even know about their strengths and weaknesses. So this is the one to help them to find out this one better. And then it's make a recruitment process more efficient, effective, and also inclusive. Because right now, it's basically reduce the human biases potentially because it uses their communication we call the footprints to infer them versus in kind of like injecting the human biases. Oh, you have to graduate from a certain school, have a certain background, and recommended by certain people. So it really opens the door, opens the opportunity to many more people. And then second part of it is if people at the workplace already, it would help employee to maybe plan their career or a path potentially, right? And then improve employee happiness and work productivity. I'm not going to go inside that one. So last but not the least, it is for training and development because in this process, it is everybody wants to grow their career, wants to advance in their career. So in this case, it would be using psychographic insights inferred during a human AI engagement to inform the next best actions. For example, could it be course correction, could it be retention, and also use that for employees to plan their personalized career paths and identify training and development opportunities as well. Again, I'm going to show you an example to see what I mean by using AI workplace companion to discover your own strengths and your own unique strengths and passions and help you to do a matchmaking, right? So again, because my our time is limited, again, this is on our, as you can see, this is our website, right? And here is our website chatbot. And then you can go there if you want to, oh, by the way, probably I have to change again. I have to share. Oh, I don't need to. Can you see it?
Yep, I think we're on the company website.
Company website, yeah. So everybody can
Yep.
go ahead, use it. Don't use it now because I'm using it. So don't use lots of things get slower. So for example, help me discover my strengths. Okay. So it's actually it could be a little bit longer, but then I would just doing a one. Is it ready? Actually, I'm going to say 3. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just basically gives the instructions. What should I say? Work for, be yourself, and talking basically the one, right? So because I put it somewhere just to save time. This is my basically usual things for myself. Okay. This I'm a co-founder, CEO of an AI startup. We made AI agents just like you. Those days making agent is relatively easy. So I just kind of start to talk about this one, right? And it's processing my one. So how do you get this current line of the work, right? So then I say, oh, I just basically it's my career path, right? So I said this when I studied computer science, I got a PhD in computer science. After I graduated, found a job as a computer scientist, which I had opportunity to work on making machines for educational, right? So let's chat about fun outside of work, right? So I said I love travel and food experiences. Okay, what's your favorite memory from 2023, right? So in this case, what I'm going to do here it is, given the time, I just said this one. Remember, I just went in as an anonymous. They didn't know which Michelle it is, right? Just It's basically trying to figure out whether. So did you see that? So based on our chat, your top strengths seem to be positivity, dedication, and detail-oriented. Such strengths indicate the growth of 2 career types. Qualities, cooperative, support, and creator. Oh, this one, right? And you can go more to do that one. If I continue finish this one, at the end of the day, you will actually get they didn't okay, continue ask me, right? So then I can say, let me see if it's have enough data to say what's my big 5 personality. Remember, I just did it, not many, right? So in this case, which I will show you what's behind the scene, how it works. There is actually what we call the validation you have to go through basically to for the one. So now it tells me what's my big 5 personality traits, right? So I'm very open, conscientious, less than because I haven't chat a lot yet, right? So this is my from a current chat only 132 words. To have very one we require about 500, 600, but even with a very short chat, they can still show you some of things already. You are most welcome to go there. And actually, if you finish, because I didn't finish today, if you finish at the end of it, you will actually to be able to download your strengths card, which will show you your Holland codes and your top soft skills. So I encourage you to do so there. Okay. So now I'm going to come back with my, let me have to stop share. Sometimes say to stop share seems, it's keep asking me whether to share the screen. So then I'm going to go back and then share my PowerPoint. So the next one, I already shared about this healthcare, right? So healthcare, it's a very similar thing. Again, healthcare, it's a very high touch, often requires individual attention, requires individual care. So then in terms of, in addition to learning companion, workplace companion, and we have been collaborating with the healthcare organizations to create what we call it AI care companion. So in this case, it is they can do personalized triage and do a care delivery during a care stage, as well as continuous engagement and support as well. Okay. So again, I'm going to show you a live demo, this one. and a care companion example. Keep just wondering which one is this. Okay. Now you should be saying I'm your AI helper and can't wait to chat, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see the chat coming up. And this one they
Yep.
said, okay, say this, how are you feeling? Let's talk about your health. So this one we just paid it almost like a continuous care routine. So basically this one, this care companion is supposed to chat with you every single day and to take some critical measures, ask you how are you doing, basically. I'm not going to answer this question. I just want to say this one. I feel quite depressed today. Uh, could you suggest an exercise to cheer me up? Let's see. Okay, so I'd be happy to suggest an exercise routine that could cheer you up. What the favorite thing to like to do outside our work study? Because today I'm doing this one from an anonymous way, so it doesn't have all my information. But if I log in consistently, they won't need to ask me about this one because this one is trying to kind of gauge what kind of things, right? So what's my favorite candidate one? And I said um, I just said outside of work today, right? So I love the garden in my backyard. It's hard work, but I see all the beautiful flowers blossoming every season, and it's totally worth it, right? Give me great joy. So it's going to relax and enjoy nature, right? So then they ask me, can you share more about the types of flowers and plants you grow, right? Then I said that it's again, I just basically to save time, I have something I written for this demo. So I plant mostly flowers at the fragrant and repeat blooming. One of my favorites is roses, right? I keep my mind for my own garden. This one kind of, I said, right. So this is one they will ask me again. What ask me? Could you describe one thing that work either made you smile or sad yesterday? So I said it is. Yesterday was a difficult day for me. It was raining and lots of traffic, right? And also there's a layoff news. So you see, it's still sad day for those who get laid off. So basically that's one to show me, right? And they were asking me what happened. It is, oh, could you share me more about how the layoff announcement was communicated and how it affected the overall atmosphere in your team? I was telling them announcement was made via email, which I thought it was quite cold. And people in my team were worried, right? When they're affected after hearing that, even was sad, right? Okay, so did you see? Just having a very little conversation, not so far, and it's getting my really a type of person who I am. So he said that for an artistic, innovative person like you, a great exercise routine would be a combination of yoga and dance, starting with the gentle yoga flow to warm up the body and calm the mind, and followed by a fun, upbeat dance routine to get the creative juices flowing. So you can see here. But if you go interact with this care companion, you will get different exercise suggestions. So that's why I meant by personalization, which means really truly based on the core characteristics of an individual. What do you like? What are you passionate about? Not just about a surface one. It's about really your core, or I would say yearnings, your desires, your psychological needs. If some of you know about the Maslow's the needs hierarchy, right? So that's kind of a need we're trying to get at. And then I'm going to go back and then to do a little bit more, right? So now you can see my demo. As you can see, what I showed you here so far, it's really beyond what large language models can do alone. It's about that nurturing. It's about the guidance, about understanding each user to their core. And now I'm going to go continue on this one. So then I'm going to dive into a little bit of detail on how it works. And given the time, probably not to the many detail. So this is about agent creation. Our beginning we talk about it is we really wanted to democratize the creation of an AI agent, cognitive agent for different types of to automate different types of high touch human well-being services. So this is how it works when we collaborate with service providers. So the subject matter experts will define the tasks and the proprietary knowledge from AI agent through the GUI. Right now, we will be supporting conversational interface as well. And then through that will be automatically generated the AI agent on the fly. And then this AI agent and design can be shared with your team, your collaborators. For example, for healthcare, for education, they may even want to share with them legal department to make sure the content they're going to convey, they're communicated with their students, with their patients are legally actually compliant, right? So then you can also collaborate with your colleagues about how to make this better. So this is kind of an iterative process all within this. So I'm pretty sure some of you are maybe familiar with Figma, right? It's about GUI design. This is about AI design, but it's in a very collaborative way. So then after this collaborative way, it's very simple. So the subject matter experts actually can deploy it already to target audience directly. For example, embedded a link in their email or put on the website. But if they want to do more elaborative deployment, they may hand this one to their IT department. So the IT department will use our GG API to embed in a third-party application. So for example, if you want your IT to put into the mobile app, like for example, or one of our current customers, it's healthcare providers. So they have the healthcare mobile app. So they will embed the subject matter generated AI agent into their mobile app so their patients can interact with it. So at the back end, the subject matter experts can monitor the behavior of the AI human interaction and also figuring out how the patients actually, as I said, there's a happy meter, there is a risk map, so they can use this information because the real-time actionable insights to help them to make decision and next best actions. So as you can see, it's quite streamlined in terms of how you can create this. It's all no code, right? Only this part, the IT people will need the code because they want to integrate it with their mobile app or third-party data, for example, database data or their application, right? So now on the very high level, what happened behind the scene here is, so GG has this cognitive AI agent platform to enable people to create their own personalized cognitive AI agent. So the core of this platform is a cognitive AI engine, which I will show you in more detail. And outside, it's a shell of a generative AI, which means it is we can use generative AI to accelerate the AI ROI, return on investment, because we need to accelerate the creation of the AI agent. So now we can dig a little bit deeper. So as you can see here, it is, as I said, it is in the core, it's a cognitive AI. So this one is a different types of cognitive skills we teach the AI agent, right? Active listening, which we actually have some papers published. Personality inference, again, we have some papers published as well. And the guided cognition, which means cognitive advices, right? So next one, I will drill down a little bit deeper about personality inference because it's one of the key skills very few AI agents have. So I want to talk a little bit more. And on top of them, I would say it's application template. So it will be pre-trained AI agent templates everybody can use. And then on top of that, using this agent will be the AI generator. So this is the part is powered by generative AI. So this below of this one is powered by our cognitive AI engine, and basically we call it our operating system. So on top of that, we marry with the generative AI to help basically take one of the template and generate the AI and then compile and the runtime, basically, right? So this is our infrastructure on the side. To access this infrastructure, we made a three-way access. API access, as I mentioned, so people can call the API to actually get the GG cognitive scale. So for example, if you have your own agent, you can come using our API to power your agent with the scales as well. IDE, this is the interactive development environment. So you don't want to write the code. Let's say I don't want to write API, and you could use our IDE to give more detailed, more in-depth customization because we have our own language, what do we call it, AI agent language, basically. And then on top of that is people who don't want to code at all. So completely no code is collaborative AI agent design studio. So that's why I called about. You can just go there, design an AI agent with no code. Basically, it's coming from here. Basically, it's from here, right? You can come down to call this one, to do that one. When we have time, I'll be happy to share with you how can we do this in a very easy way, no code way, right? So now we dig a little bit deeper about computational psychology, which is about our personality inference. So the idea about here it is, you saw earlier, right? I had about the 5 turns of a conversation, and the AI can automatically infer my personality and my career DNA. So how does it work? That works it is we given a set of the communication footprints. And from these footprints, we automatically derive what we call it evidence. You can think about it as the different types of mu is kind of evidence, right? And then we're trying to infer the implied trait, in this case, personality, right? So lambda obviously is the discriminative power of the evidence to contribute to the trait, right? So what happened here it is basically instead of asking each person to go through personality tests, again, we have lots of papers published. That's why I'm not going to go in very, very low level detail. So you can think about this way it is, if you have done any personality test before, right? Each item is one piece of evidence. But instead, we ask you to subjectively rate yourself to give us the evidence. We objectively go outside to look into your communication footprint. You can say your behavior footprint to extract that piece of evidence and infer which piece of evidence has the discriminative power to imply, to actually to contribute to help us to infer a latent trait theta. So that's basically the idea of it, right? So in this case, it is we can use this. So now you are chatting. So we're just using our model to discern which piece of evidence is present and how that big piece of evidence contributed to which trait we can infer, right? So that's basically an idea. So then, and many people, especially computer scientists or psychologists, will ask, so how could I know your inference actually is accurate? Very important, right? If it's not accurate, why should I use yours? So in order to evaluate the quality of inference, you measure 2 things, reliability and validity. Reliability, which means it's almost like a scale, right? So if I take a piece of your behavior, randomly part of your behavior, I want to infer your personality traits. Then I'm going to take another random sample of your behavior to infer. But if they come back very different, that's a problem. So almost like I said, is you step on the weight scale. If you step on the weight scale, one time tells you you're 120 pounds, and next one you step on, it tells you 220 pounds, which means the scale is unstable. So this is a similar idea. If I sample your behavior, if the samples are having come up with a consistent score, that means very reliable. So according to Cronbach's alpha, if the consistency can reach Cronbach alpha 0.8, which means my inference is very stable. As you can see, different measurements, which you have this number of words, right? When above 1,000 words, all those traits are stable, considered stable already. But instead of this, one of them requires 2,000 words, right? So basically, you require more evidence to stabilize it. So this is basically, but you can see most of them will be half of them 500 words already above 0.8. So I just want to give you a little bit a very concrete idea what 0.8 means in a real world scenario. We humans are known not very consistent, right? So you take the same personality test. If the personality test items are very good, very well designed, which means it is that normally one person take that one is normally around 0.78 to 0.83. So then you understand what a consistent means. But you can see if a machine does this one, if we have a lot of evidence, we could be very, very consistent, very stable, even towards one, right? So that's a power of the machine. Basically, because machines do not miss. Machines are tend to be consistent. Okay, validity, another very important concept. Validity, which means that is if I knew I inferred your traits from by AI, how those traits can predict real world behavior. So this is the last year. This is an independent study, not GGG didn't do this one. And it's done by a group of scientists. I think it's about 7 of scientists from 5 universities. So they did like about 2 year, 3 year study to see the different properties of the GG's AI inference. So their conclusion is have a very acceptable reliability in both factor and facet level. Because remember the big 5 will treat the 5 factors, but the 30 facets. So all these measures. And excellent convergent validity and incremental validity over self-reported. So what it means it is in certain measures, when they try to predict the real world behavior, their real world behavior, I remember it's a student's GPA score, the third party evaluation of the students, how well they can adapt to the campus life, have they adapted campus life. So they found out it is the AI influenced, which means really sometimes predict those real world behavior on par or better than the traditional assessments, which is a huge conclusion, because which means it is the very first time to show that very rigorous testing, validation testing to show the effectiveness of the AI inferred traits. You guys are welcome to do this one. This paper of theirs is published in a top psychology journal called Journal of Applied Psychology. And also not just published it, the editor chooses as a high impact paper last year. And then this is what currently we infer right now, a big 5 personality and with also the 30 facets of the one, right? And based on this one, we can also infer Holland codes, which means about career DNA. This is done by American psychologist called John Holland. And you're welcome to take a look at it because it's based on the big 5 personality. You can compose Holland codes as well. And the soft skills like communication skills and the skills being very responsible and the skills which you working with people and the moral characteristics and how what's a level of integrity they have, right? And the trustworthiness. And I want to show you an example. This is actually our collaboration with the US Air Force Academy, because in the Air Force Academy and the Air Force Academy cadets needs to find their majors, but sometimes people may not know, right? But if they choose the wrong major, sometimes it could be detrimental to their career, because if they can't finish in 4 years, they really have to drop out because they're all on the scholarship and paid by really taxpayers' money, right? So this was just an idea based on their programs, and then we're trying to actually see how can we help potentially Air Force cadets to recognize their own strengths and weaknesses and match with their potential major for choices. So as I said earlier, if you go to our website, if you finish the chat of Discover My Strengths, you will actually be able to download your own strengths card, but not the Air Force major, but your top strengths you can see also with your Holland codes as well. So very similar to that. So then now I'm moving on quickly on the agent generation side of it, right? So agent generation, again, it's a spec, and then we have a generator and then compiler, because when you generate, you have to compile it. This is the code generation on the back end, and then use that, then you can do the fine tuning on the back end, basically, right? So take a closer look at it, it's basically what we do on the 3 steps of an agent generator and leveraging generative AI. So first one is a task description with the structure generation. So this structure generation has nothing to do with generative AI. It's based on our agent template and our own conversation. We call the conversational intelligence. Generate that. So we use it here, our generative AI. It's to process the proprietary knowledge. We call the knowledge grafting, because the knowledge has to be married with our structure. When I say structure, it's about the dialogue structure. It's about the workflow structure, basically, right? Then you can do fine tuning. So fine tuning, the human beings can fine tune the generated AI and to optimize it as well. If they don't like it, they can optimize. So basically, you have an optimized AI agent at the end. So that's the one, right? Now I'm going to go to my last slide because I think we're time running out. So the future work. So there are so many things that we could do. We haven't even get to it. So one of the one is very interesting. So in a tutorial you saw right now, mostly it's text-based. But when you talk about the math, when you talk about, let's say, even computer science, maybe quantum computing, you want to be able to show multimodal, right? Automatically generate a picture on the fly with real data, but within context, based on your personality, based on your interest. So it's a really multimodal cognitive agent, I think, with the next step. And if you, some of you are interested in, especially in university, come to talk to us. And then automated testing. This is always on our, actually, I was mentoring a student. I was on the student's PhD thesis committee from University of Colorado Boulder, and to do automated testing, we haven't done, but the student graduated, right? And you know, there's always the thesis, there's more work to do. Again, this is one of our hot topic on our tip. It's very important, especially with the hallucination. How do you do automated tests? You can't read all these transcripts, right? How do you detect that? Another one which kind of like make me awake at night, responsible insurance. You can say assurance or insurance, because our AI agent is really powerful now, can understand people's strengths and weaknesses. But how can I put all the guardrails in place? So I want to make sure that the AI agent doesn't harm people, doesn't hurt people, right? It's really a cliche said is with the great power comes with great responsibility. So how can we computationally instill those kind of insurance in place? We have started with some of our watermarks, but not sufficient. And then how can we prevent, especially now we also support automatically generation of AI agent, which means the speed of AI agent adoption and deployment will be much faster than before. And how can we put those insurance in place so we can protect our humankind seriously and protect the people who are the users of cognitive AI agents.
Oh.
So I'm going to stop it here. And maybe if we have time, I'll be happy to take questions.
Yeah, yeah, Michelle, thanks for the presentation. Great, great presentation. Yeah,
So I'll be happy. Yeah.
there's a couple of questions. Yeah, so I wrote them down.
Mhm.
So this was like kind of throughout your presentation. So just the first question that came up was, what is the difference between cognitive AI agents and a chatbot?
Okay. Cognitive AI agent, as I said earlier, let me go here, right? Let me go just, I put it here, right? So cognitive AI agent is talking about the AI autonomy, if you think, right? So it can help humans complete different types of tasks, especially high touch services, like I just showed you in the demo, guiding students in their learning process, gave a tutorial to learning, right? As well as healthcare services to suggest routines, keep you informed, as well as keep you on the care routine, right? So this is kind of from a task point of view, and from a functional point of view, it is cognitive AI agent can really understand the users, their users very deeply, their psychological needs, their passions and interests, their ways of handling stresses, right? It's we call it really the human AI teaming, a teammate. But the teammate can be presented in many forms and shapes. Chatbot could be one of the forms, okay? But doesn't necessarily have to be chatbot. Could be a 3D avatar. Cognitive agent could be a space, right? Cognitive agent could be a physical robot, still have those functions, still can automate high-touch services empathetically, still can discern your personality, read your, I wouldn't say read your mind, read your thoughts and feelings, and can guide you. So cognitive AI agents, you can think about it, it's the brain, it's the one. Chatbot, it's the shell. where cognitive AI agents can reside in, but not limited to just in the form of chatbot. As I said, it could be in a physical robots, could be in a multimodal avatar, in your virtual world. Okay? Hopefully that answers the question. If not, please ask again.
No, I thought that was a great answer. Yeah, another question was, would it be easier to build Juji as an app in the ChatGPT store?
Oh, great point. I expect somebody will ask. Thank you. Who will ask that question? So I will thank you. So what happened here it is, yes, so basically thinking about this one, we also use GPT as well, right? So I'm here to show you a demo because I think we still have a little time. I will show you a live demo, how you can create a chatbot. So my understanding of the GPT store is this. You're going to create your own, they call the so-called customized GPT. I wouldn't call it GPT. GPT is just a very geeky name, right? So it's basically it's a customized chatbot, right? With the proprietary knowledge, you should be with a proprietary workflow as well. When you go to ChatGPT, they don't have a workflow, right? It's always driven by users. But in our case, you can create your AI agent with your customized workflow, with your customized proprietary knowledge. Then you can showcase that on GPT store. That becomes your agent. So for example, let's say if you are the wellness coach, you can come to GG platform to create your coaching chatbot, if you will, in some way, right? And then use that and then deploy that on a GPT store. I don't know how you can deploy. I haven't took a GPT store. So basically, GPT store is where you can sell your product, correct? And the GG is a platform to enable you to create that product in a high quality and faster. So given this one, I'm going to share with you a demo. I think this is probably a good time to show you how can you create it, which would be very fun actually, right? To create the chatbot where you could actually very easy. So let's just pretend that you're the wellness coach. You want to create a chatbot to give personalized advice, for example, right? So let's say we will do I'm gonna log in first because it takes a minute. While I'm logging my GG platform, it takes probably 1 minute because I have lots of chatbots there. And then maybe can we go to a next question?
Yes, for sure. Another question is, what model did you use for this use case as a base model?
Which use case?
I think it was talking about I think it was the education use case you were showing.
Education? Okay. So education, as I said, it is our models always like I was showing. Let me just give 1 second the slide because we're still sharing the slides, right? So you can still see the slides. So let me share with you this. You can see my slides, correct, everybody? Right? So on the slides that you can see here, it is for that particular AI learning, tutor, right? We use the one, it's called the learning one. It's especially for the AI teaching assistant, it's a tutoring. We upload the knowledge, so we use the large LLMs is from a GPT, and in conjunction with our conversational intelligence, personality intelligence, or active listening, all this one. So which means if you can slice and dice, it's one of our learning one, and everything else underneath the LLMs, it's GPT from, right? So for the one you saw workplace, when I doing my one, it's from here, this one, and the healthcare is a healthcare one, right? So I'm gonna show you how did you create one actually to do very interesting thing. So let me go stop. Let me share my this one. I think is my sharing. Okay. Can you see my screen right now? It's a screen with
Yeah,
a bunch of charts. Okay,
the
great.
chatbots. Yeah.
Chatbots, right? So if you come into GG, this is the only thing you see because I have a lots of chatbots from various of things, like from Arizona, from different types of things. So then I see here it is. So actually, both of our chatbots are created by our subject matter experts, not by me, because I don't have the domain knowledge, right? I'm going to create something, pretend that I'm going to be a career, to be a career coach. Okay, my career coach it is, first of all, I want to coach people. But before I coach people, I wanted to ask them what their career aspirations. So I would need to create a chatbot first to collect that information. Then I can give advice, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select, I'm going to choose template. As you can see, the person was asked earlier about the template. What I used for the tutoring is this template called AI Teaching Assistant Advanced. So because in this one, you can get the people's personality or the information. That's right? But for this demo, I'm going to choose something very generic. So I'm going to go to the general interview first, because in this interview, I want to be able to, what I said it is to ask my potential coachees their information first, right? I'm going to create. So you will see. So our model, you will see here what I call about structure, right? So the base model, it's embedded in our one. We will know how to actually run our structures here. Okay. I want to customize the chatbot. Okay. First one, two options. You can customize manually, which I will show you why you want to use AI to help, right? Manually means it is, as you can see here, it's almost like a PowerPoint, right? So you have a PowerPoint on this side. It's your topics of a conversation. For example, in here it is, thanks for your connecting. Please feel free to ask me questions anytime and ask them ready to start. As you can see, there's nothing there. But you can add different topics, insert a new chatbot question, message, or topic, can do that, right? If I'm a career coach, I knew what the questions I want to ask, correct? But I don't want to manually doing this one. So I want to leverage generative AI. In this case, will be GPT actually. So what am I going to do here? I want to use AI to help. So I want to say target audience. It's let's say I want to say it is maybe I just say people who wanted to actually do a plan for their career advancement. Okay, so it's who want to plan for their advancement. Survey goal it is I wanted to ask users about their career aspirations. Right? Aspirations and their challenges. Okay, career challenges. Maybe strengths, maybe other one, strengths, career challenges, and help, career help they need. Okay, then I would generate, let me just say generate 5 questions. Fine, right? So what happened here is, this is my simple instruction. I would generate a chatbot. So it takes about 1 to 2 minutes. So what happened here it is, we use our own base model structure to automatically generate the flow, but we married with ChatGPT to, how do you say this one, to enrich the flow using natural language, right? So you will see it here. So then in this case, basically you have a both of the best of the both worlds. You have the language generated, natural language generation, but you also have the structure, the bone behind it. So you could actually go there, change it to see if you like it, right? If you don't like it, you can always change it. Because they were changing, basically as can, right now this is using ours. The topics, paraphrases, it's a GPT. So basically once we generate the topics, we have to give the context, then we use GPT to generate the paraphrases. I can use the GPT plus, right? So you could ask GPT to generate the chatbot for you too. But the problem there is you don't have the structure behind it. So you don't know actually how to control. You don't have the fine-grained control. So I will show you what I mean by this one. While we're waiting, because it takes a couple minutes to go through all these things.
Yeah, maybe we could. Yeah.
Do you have other questions? So we could, could just.
Yeah, I guess you could answer this pretty quickly. Someone's asking like, who are your competitors?
I would say our I would say like all these big companies potentially be our competitors, right? So like Microsoft, Google, or Amazon, so they also enable people to create, but we are very unique in a way because they also enable people to create their own agents. So where our unique one it is, we really have this what I call the structure behind and also cognitive skills. So far, I haven't seen anybody has a cognitive skill. If you guys are aware of it, let us know. I don't know if any of this AI agent can read you very well, can read people, can use the personality derived on the fly to make suggestions. We haven't seen anything like that. Okay, so as you can see here, it is, remember before here, just one car, and right now we have so many in this one now. So for example, what are your career aspirations? What motivates you in your professional life? Do you see that? So in this case, you can actually, if you don't like it, you could actually change the one. So for example, operations is the one, right? So this one, I would say, okay, what motivates you? I don't want to have tools. I just want to see this one. And then I would do preview directly and you will see. And I can do fine control as well if I want, right? Okay, second, you know better the career aspirations. I said, since I was little, I always wanted to become, for example, biologist. Currently, I'm a technician working in a big pharma lab, and I want to see how I can become biologist. So this is basically, that's, I just say something like that, right? You know, I was to see the one, and then you will see. Let's try to figure out how you can continue this one to the, today it's a little bit, it seems a little bit slow. Biology, right? Say one. So you see here, but so could you tell me about your top strengths that you think you may help you achieve one? I said my top strength is persistence. I always persist, for example, right? So it's just the kind of to count this one, but then you can always, that's great strengths to have, right? Count me on this one. Thank you for, let's discuss any challenge anticipated. So for example, if you see situation like this, I say that, you know what, whenever because I am the coach, right? I want to coach people. I really would like to know, I really like to dig deeper if people don't want. So I can customize it. So what I customize it is I want to ask them, it's a simple customization. I want them to ask follow-up questions if the answer is not so the one yet, right? So what I'm going to do here it is, I just click on to turn on the follow-up, right? I'm pretty sure I did. Just make sure when we speak. Yeah, follow question based on user input. This one. Then I do a preview, and in this case, you will see they will actually ask you more based on what I'm talking about, right? So it's here, right? I'm going to use the same thing. I just say working on pharma. This is the same thing I did before earlier, right? And this one before, and then I want to go to the strengths part. You will see it. I just did the strengths part, right? Okay, so this one, my top strength is persistence. I persist. And you can also give instructions that it is, make sure your users always give concrete example, concrete things to the things, right? You didn't see. Did you see? Now it doesn't go to a next question. Remember, the next question was your challenges. So now based on this one, ask me, could you provide a specific example of situation where your persistence helped you overcome a challenge or achieving a goal? Okay, so this way you can do this very quickly, fairly quickly. And then as the person, because I haven't deployed this one, for the one I deployed, I can see the people behind the scene, right? This one, this is basically you're the administrator, you're the owner of the AI. What you can see here, let me just go take a look at the AI tutor demo. which I showed you the tutor on the one, right? Why they couldn't find my AI tutor? Okay, I did find one other one. Okay, this one. I want to show you, this is the one we just did with the quantum computing one, right? So reports one, what happened here it is, you will see people, how many people chatted, right? So let me go to the audience. And you will see, you can see, of course, Michelle, I just chatted today. Remember the one we just did? It's loading, right? Loading with a short, right? So this one actually, AI tutor introduced the 3 topics. This is what I did. This is to give you a summary, basically. Give a summary, right? So what's interesting is this. If you go to this personality insights, you actually can see the people who actually got the tutors, let's say students, to see what their disposition, what their personality. So you can use this information to help. So for example, you can even create potentially a custom personality, for example, student at risk, right? To show that if students potentially at risk in terms of if they are have a high level of anxiety or something like that, then you will pay attention to those students more. And you can do it. For example, close this one. So that will be said students and at risk, for example, right? I can create this one. I want to inside here, the fit of this one would be, for example, this side it is people are tended to angry and anxiety, showing the level of anxiety, or they have a hard time to have the stress, right? So in this case, it would be this one. And I just build the profile. So this one will fit, right? Anger, anxiety, vulnerability. And then you will see in this case, it's a fit, right? It's a fit for this profile. And then we'll automatically score the people who have done the conversation engagement with the AI tutor and to see where they lie. And you can sort them and to figure out whether you want to reach out, maybe connect them with academic advisor. It takes a minute to compute to do that one. Okay, where is the compute? Anybody has any other questions or?
Yeah, so yeah, just a lot of questions. So I think I think you answered this really well in the demo, but somebody was asking a question when you were showing the learning companion.
Yeah.
If your aspect was similar to a RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation.
Active augmented. Right.
Yes,
So
but
whether let me see, yes or no in some way, because we added a bunch of things too, right? So let me share with you what I mean by that. Actually, I can show you the dig deeper to see this one. So this is a, by the way, let me just finish this one, right? So for example, if you sort this one, this is the biggest at risk, Michelle, basically, right? To show me what situation it is, you will see my score is high. I think it's today it's really kind of seems very slow somehow. It's still loading. Don't know why today it seems quite slow.
yeah, we only just really have 30 minutes as well, Michelle. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think I'm just gonna fire you off another question while we wait. Or
Yeah.
did you? Oh wait,
So
are you?
just go ahead. Right. So
Okay, yeah.
I would show the. I'm just gonna show one. So for example,
Excuse me,
I'm
no,
gonna.
no worry, I can stay. I can stay.
Okay, let me share with the one with quantum computing RAG. Yeah. So we definitely use the part of a RAG, but we have to kind of augment it in some way, right? Let me see if this is the one is showing quantum computing or not. This is the one, or maybe this one. Yeah, this one. So let me tell you what happened here, okay? What happened here is in our settings, we are going to actually, what happened here is, so we upload, do you remember what I said is I upload all the different types of material, right? So one happens to be introduction to quantum computing, right? So this is what I uploaded to this material. So once we uploaded the material and we did a lots of processing, and then based on the processing, what we done is this one. Let me just give you. So it's so if I use this to do the Q&A, you say enable Q&A. If I ask a question about the one, that's pretty much RAG. It means but it's basically to a document-based retrieval. We indexing, we do the one. But in order to do the tutorial, just the retrieval is not sufficient. That's why, let me share with you. So let me go back to here. And if you just do question and answering, it's fine. But then in this case, what happened here, it is this. So did you see the tutorial on quantum information theory? Okay. In this case, what happens here, it is we have to actually automatically generate the structure behind it, which means that it's based on our pedagogical, whatever theory you could use, right? I remember we used something, show it. I remember exactly what the name one it is. So then to break down the content into stepwise tutorial and use this one. Once you do this one, and you can edit again. So the idea, it's the same. It is, we have the underlying, if you so-called the teaching model, right? So it's not just a retrieval, it's also marry the teaching model to create those structural process for your tutoring, because the tutoring, it depends on, and you can also merge them too, because that's why everything we do, transparency is very important. We show you how it works, and then the structure looks like, and then the instructor, that the instruction designer can go back, actually change it, right? And right now, we don't let the instructor choose which teaching method. In the future, we want to do that too. You can also choose which teaching method. Remember, giving a same teaching material, you could teach it very different way, right? I hope you agree with me, because in that case, the structure will be very different. So that's very customized in that case. And you can also potentially do assessment, which means can do, so I can also, after you finish, I say, okay, I can go to give you assessment. Again, you can do assessment in the same way too, right? You can say, okay, I'm not sure if I can do it right now, because this is my demo chat, but I probably won't do it. And you can say, you can do, I can do say this one, micro learning, right? I can say knowledge assessment. In this case, I could say assess quantum computing knowledge. If I do this one, I'm just going to probably do it. So in this case, what happened here is I want to put in a practice mode, which people do that one. I would try twice of the trying, right? In this case, it is okay. Say, now you have learned about quantum computing. Let's do a quick quiz, for example, right, to test it, how much you have learned. For example, you can do that, right? So in this was what happened here is it's coming back here, and then in this case you will do quantum, this one. I would to use this to, I need to give a little bit instruction. I said, for example, generate 3 multiple choice questions and 1 open-ended question to test the students' basic knowledge of quantum computing. You can do whatever you want in this case, right? So let's see. I haven't done to see if it's kind to takes a couple minutes to do that one. So while we're waiting, why don't we go ahead to hear what other folks what other questions might be.
Yeah, so so one person asked, they're just interested to know the approach to ethical concerns with the limitations of the learning data and misunderstanding of motivations.
Okay, great. So because what's coming back, do you see? Three generated, I say 4 exercises, right? 4. And then they say generated, do you see that? What is the fundamental unit of computation in quantum computing? That's a qubit, right? We just learned this one. And then you see automatically generate this one. It's a single choice, give you a score of 5. You can change that, of course. And also the setting in here, you can also see it, right? Parameter, score, and it give you a choice or give you answers already. Let's look at the last question. Basically, that's your criteria, right? Come to explain the concept of superposition in quantum computing. And the question setting, it's a free text parameter, give you a grading criteria, in when rubric criteria, right? Some is 5, partially with 2, and answer score is 0. Because I haven't studied the superposition. I don't know about the answer this one. Quantum computing superposition, do you see that? One is answer, right? And then I would give you guys this link. Why don't you go ahead and try it to see if it's working, right? So okay, I'm going to answer a question about ethical concern. As I said, one of the ethical concern is about let's say you are the game developer. You wanted to indulge people to use your games, right? So in that case, it is if you have AI chatbot, if you knew the people's personality traits, if they are prone to, they're more subjected to the addiction to game, but you use this to actually entice them, okay? And then encourage them to playing game, to become addicted to games. That's not good. And in that case, it is currently, we have been using maybe manual or some ways to do that. Then also another way is, another ethical concern is because the AI, like you can see, our AI, you can have lots of conversations. Sometimes can be very personal, sometimes could be quite involved, I would say. So what if during this conversation, the chatbot quickly ask this, what's your social security number? If I know that, I can really help you more, right? So in this case, people accidentally reveal some sensitive information. So for this, we have been putting in what we call the watermark. Watermark it is once the AI will ask those kind of very sensitive question, it will gather sensitive information. The designer cannot change it. The AI will always say this one. It sounds like it is, I'm gathering some sensitive information from you. You risk of disclosing something you might not want to disclose. So to make sure that you knew this is a party you trust. This AI comes from a party you trust. So this we call the watermark. Watermark is you can't get rid of it, right? So almost like your real world watermarking. So we have doing that. That's not sufficient, and because people always finding another way. You know, humans are very smart, right? So that's why automatically testing. And then we are a very small company right now. We can't possibly go do those audit, I would say, right? So we wanted to do automatic testing so we can surface those potentially borderline uses in a way so we can intervene. I don't know if another one is from policy view, people always can say this freedom of speech, how much we can intervene and how we can intervene. This is all policy issues. If anybody has any answers, I don't have a very good answer for that.
Great. So another question someone asked is the underlying assumption that human intelligence is computable.
I'm smiling is this. Certain human intelligence is computable, right? So for example, I would say mostly probably the skills is a better said that one, right? If you consider human skills or human intelligence are definitely computable. So I'm pretty sure some of you in this audience, that you're computer scientists, you're engineers, you're one, you have passed many types of tests, SAT, GRE, GMAT. That's skill testing, that's computable. Otherwise, how would they know you? What do you know, right? So in our case, we also demonstrated that certain skills are definitely computable, right? And certain characteristics are absolutely computable. Like, for example, personality traits. Why? Because many years, probably 100 years of study, starting from Darwin, already knew that people's linguistic skills reveal their personality, reveal their psychological characteristics. So if you draw that connection, yeah, for those kind of characteristics, for this one, it's computable. If we have a good understanding of that. For something intelligence, we don't have a good understanding. So for example, people's intuition, right? If we humans can't get the hold of it, can get a gist of it, then it's harder, I would say, for computers. Because I'm sorry to say this, I've been working in AI since my IBM days, my PhD study days, already probably counting my PhD studies, probably 30 years already. Given that, I still believe, I work with AI every day. I still think AI is pretty stupid because certain things for humans are so easy, for AI it's so hard, right? So in this case, the reason it is because we don't fully understand humans either. We don't understand. Right now, we're collaborating with the instructors to help them to put on AI tutor. But if you look at the humans' material, you say, okay, why did you do this one? But the AI wouldn't understand a bit. So in this case, it's really about the human AI teaming. And I don't ever believe humans will be ever replaced by AI. No chance. Because there's so many things humans do, maybe we can't even explain, like human intuition, right? So just can't explain. And in that case, if you can't explain, you cannot computerize it or basically compute it, then the AI would never have that. AI needs precise knowledge.
Right.
Very
Okay.
precise. Very
Great.
precise.
So this one is just more, I guess, related to, like, towards yourself, I guess. Somebody was asking if you had like an email or a method of contact to ask further questions, and additionally, someone's asking if your company was hiring for the year or something like that.
Oh, I see. So for those kind of things, do me a favor, and if you go to this that will be the best contact because I'm a manager of that one, and you will, if you do that, and then I will be basically I'm very responsive, and so you can go, if you go to if you search GG on LinkedIn, by the way, I thought it's my machine very slow. LinkedIn is also super slow too. And can you see my screen right now? No?
No.
No. Okay. So I'm trying to actually share another screen side. Let me just do it. This one. I think it's this. Oh, can you guys see my screen right now on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
If you search LinkedIn GG, right? Add me to your LinkedIn. Normally, I accept if you are students, if you are one, as long as not the normally salespeople. The salespeople, I even accept a lot. So follow us, GG. And the reason is if you're especially looking for a job, we often announce our position on here on GG, and also you can see what we care about, right? So this is a very good one. Another one it is you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That would be the best way to connect with me. And also because I'm fairly active on LinkedIn. And then you see, you can just connect with me and then you can message me, right? So normally I'm fairly responsive on my LinkedIn message as well. So feel free to connect with me and as well as follow GG so you can see what's going on. And we are really welcome students, professors, or any industry researchers to collaboration. Of course, industry partners are most welcome as well because we do collaborate quite a bit across the industry with partners, with individuals.
Cool. Great. So yeah, just connect on LinkedIn. And another question, someone asked on YouTube, do you have any plans to release the offline version?
Of what?
I guess of the of your platform. I guess that's
What do you mean by offline? Oh, maybe not on the. You mean talking about the on-premise installation?
something like that, probably, yeah.
Right. Okay. So we already have the version like that for mostly for potentially for big enterprises like a healthcare organization and the government because they have to run our whole thing within their firewall, right? Because they cannot go through because we're in a public cloud. We're the Microsoft shop. So we all use Microsoft Azure. We use Microsoft stuff, right? So then if I understand this question correctly, you're asking whether we have kind of like an installable version of it, not through the cloud, right? Because like, for example, we got the healthcare, quite a couple of healthcare company already asked us because they have their compliance environment. They just want to install our whole thing behind their firewall. Yes, so that's possible. And just reach out to us. We will be happy to tell you how. Actually, it's quite doable because our whole infrastructure is container-based, Docker, right? In container-based, so you can just drop the entire Docker install on your own servers, and you can do it.
Great.
And then you can create. This is the creation, the GG Studio, GG ID, GG API, the all inside as a part of a whole package. And if you don't serve our what I call it, our engineering team, actually everybody runs the Docker copy on their machine, which is actually just the regular machine on the MacBook Pro. You just need the memory. Memory, I think, is about 512 gigabytes or something like that.
Great.
512 or 256. You can do it very well. Yeah.
Okay, so another question. Somebody's working, one of the audience members is working on a multi-user smart system that could learn users' behavior and predict their preferences in the future to let the system make decisions and work properly. He plans to leverage LLMs. Do you think cognitive AI would be more appropriate?
Actually, interesting. So I would say you can combine this together, right? So you use, you are trying to multi-user system, you're trying to learn the user's engagement. So in our case, it's very, basically whatever the footprint, doesn't matter how the footprint is generated. And if it's AI, human interaction or human-to-human interaction, doesn't matter what. So you could actually use the same, gather the same behavior and add the, you can use LLM with our cognitive AI to understand the behavior. So for example, in our case, our cognitive one is mostly on the behavior of psychological behavior, right? That's why we call it psychological inference. So if you can use LLM to other behavior, for example, frequency, patterns, you can combine the both. Doesn't necessarily you have to use one. You can combine both. A data generated from a human-to-human conversation, human-human engagement, that's okay. Doesn't matter which one it is. So actually our staff used to analyze the human behavior, for example, from a social media, like from a Discord, from a Facebook, from one with humans opt-in information. So basically, you can use all the information together as the to actually derive your user profile, if you will, right? Basically paint your user characteristics, derive that, then use that to do recommendation, suggestion, and guidance. So that's a way to go. Like same thing with us. We use both too. You can use both. Then together, I call the cognitive AI because you do have the psychology aspect. You do have the area which you gave also proactive guidance part of it. Because right now, just by LLMs by itself, you don't have the proactive side of it, right? You don't have the flow, you don't have the guidance part of it. That's not the built-in part of it.
Great. So I think you were touching on this point earlier, but somebody in the chat was interested to hear about privacy concerns with the chatbots and how the information being analyzed will be like, and like the information being analyzed, like how will that be stored? How will that be handled?
Okay, so in our case, depending on what you use it, right? So as I said, if it's for different types of compliance reasons, we have to be in a compliance secure environment, have to comply to all the rules. But for the regular compliance, as I said, we are using Microsoft Azure. They already has the many compliance and guardrails in place to secure the data, right? So, so for example, the data, first of all, and by the way, in our current use, most of the data actually come in anonymous form. So we tend not to get the personally identifiable information, so far not. And just for those data, we also being guarded very well in Microsoft environment, following all their compliance data security rules of the things, right? So those part is just like anything, right? Just like you can say credit card company or like a financial company guard your personal information. So this one, nothing, special, unique. But I was talking about it is more about the ethical rule. It is one ethical rule I do want to stress out. People worried about when you go to GPT, when you upload data and the GPT use it to train other things, right? Which is not some people consider unethical. So we don't do that. We don't use your data to train. For example, if you are the instructor, you come upload your material, we consider that your intellectual property. We can't share with anybody else. That's unshareable. That's by default, right? Unless you want us to share it, we don't want to share that for that one. So this is the one ethical, which means it is whoever come in to create their AI agent, that data belongs to them, right? It's their IP property, I would say that. So another thing, and what I was worried about more, it is for the, you could kind of, I wouldn't call it misuse, right? More about misuse, I worry about more, which means that is people use it for a bad intention, for kind of that part, right? A malpractice, I would say. I know malpractice doesn't mean this one's more from a one, but in my world of malpractice, which means you use AI for harm, for harming people, hurting people. So that part, I think a lot of work is still required to detect that. Like for example, you guys watched the Minority Report, right? That's basically it's about the misuse of the AI, right? People predict who will be the next criminal, and that's scary, right? So in that case, it is those kind of things has to be audited, guarded. We have lots of audited one to let humans to actually audit. That's why I said earlier, I don't ever believe AI will replace humans, because in our mind, at least from a current technology state point of view, we always need human auditors. We even have actually exact trail for human audit.
Great.
And
so
that one
yeah.
has to be there all the time.
Okay. Great. Yeah, so it's gonna be quite a broad question, this one. So someone was asking, with advancements in the cognitive AI field, how close are we to developing general AI?
So this is always the debate, right? So first of all, to be honest with you, I'm not very how do you say, a big believer of the basically general artificial intelligence, right? So which means human AIs can do a lot of things. As I said, I'm working with AI every day. AI, I still think it's so dumb, and I don't know which day will be. Second of all, maybe because I'm a scientist. Why would we want to develop a general, kind of like a general artificial intelligence? So AI, it's a tool. It's made by humans. So what the tools do? So for example, humans love to do creative things, right? If you're a musician, you love to create music. So why would you want to have AI to do all the work for you? Then what's the fun left for you? If you are a painter, you love to paint because of a creativity flow, the juices in your brain. Why would you want AI to do that for you? You don't want it. Those people. So what we want really AI to do is some work we don't like to do. So for example, some people hate to talk to strangers. Some people want to sleep at night. So I don't want to get up in 2 o'clock in the morning to connect with my students, connect with my patients. So the purpose of AI, from my point of view, it is I want to create a assistant. I want to create an agent, if you will, to do some of the work I don't like to do or I don't want to do, right? So why would I want to create somebody exactly like me? What's the point? So I don't have a motivation to do that.
Right. And then
I have no motivation whatsoever to do that. So that's why I said is people keep talking about the generative. So why would the humans want to do that? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So I would love to hear what other people in this world would hear about it. I just want a tool. I want to enjoy my life. So example, I want to enjoy the flower. I want to pick up the flower I want. I don't want to ask AI. I only ask AI for suggestion maybe, right? in terms of quality, the thing will be in the pricing comparison, I would like AI. But anything, how to arrange the things. If I let AI to do everything, then I will be very down now. Then what's the fun left for me in life? So if we don't want to be AI to take over the world, we don't want generative AI, whatever, general AI, artificial intelligence. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, great point there. Just kind of touching into this other question that I just found. Do you think, well, someone was asking, do you think intelligent beings have to be biological on that aspect? Or?
I don't know. Sorry. I'm not the biologist. I don't know. I think, let's see. I just said something very funny. You guys can look up my bio made by ACM, right? ACM is Association for Computing Machinery. They made me write an article for myself. It's basically a biologist ambition, right? From a computer and then become a computer scientist. You will read it, very funny. So what I'm laughing about this one is this. Again, it depends on what I want, right? When I was a little girl, I really wanted a doll. Seriously, a doll. Like every girl wants a doll to play with, right? I happen to have a sister, of course, the two sisters playing together wants to play with a doll. In that situation, hey, maybe I could have a doll has some biological feature. For example, this doll actually has a skin just like me, can blink just like me, can speak a little bit just like me. Whether have no intelligence, I don't care really. I just have a doll, right, to play with. So in that case, if you think about with the machine have the somewhat biological senses, maybe has the same skin, I can play with it. I'm pretty sure girls or maybe even boys will like it. For example, if some boys want to have a companion to play with, or maybe have like you say, every kid has an imaginary friend, right? Have the friend kind of a little bit similar to them, whether the friend is intelligent or not. Probably they care less. So in that sense, it's a similar way, depending on what you want. If you want to have a doll you can cuddle with, you can sleep with, maybe you want to have some biological features, maybe even have a little bit of warmth.
Yeah, good points.
Otherwise, I don't know why, right? Maybe I did read a lot of, when I was little, I did read a lot of what do you call it? Scientific sci-fi article, sci-fi books and movies, right? Sometimes if you want to have a really a friend, and then you might want to have that one. And depends on what you want. If you want to have a maybe biological like dog, cat, it's your pet. Maybe you want it. You want to have the same fur, you want the same feel, but you know what? You don't want to feed them. You don't want to walk them. And you just want something you can turn on, turn off. That might be a business there.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You can still walk them if you want it. But then in that case, you might want to have a real feel. It's still like a dog. That's the same soft skin, same soft fur. But whether you want them to be very smart to talk to you, I don't even know that. You want that.
Cool. So the next couple of questions are actually a lot of use case questions. So the first one, they thank you. The multimodal cognitive AI agent sounds interesting. Would mapping nonverbal communication and actions over time fit into your personality insights? For example, a multimodal inference engine for insider threats and cybersecurity.
Very good question. Yes, absolutely. So actually, I have been, so we're very kind of in tune with a scientific society. I think just a few years ago, I even reviewed an article using, starting to using visual cues to infer personality. So my belief it is ultimately the multimodal personality inference, I call it the multimodal computational psychology, is definitely the way to go. Because think about it is when the person behaves in the world, that's why we have a mouth, we have eyes, we have ears, we have a nose, right? So we can smell, so all these senses, all this information generated from person's behavior should be able to give us more signals as the person's personality, passions, and interests, and their talents as well, right? So that's the one I think definitely is the way to go. The reason we haven't incorporated multimodal, actually we thought about already It's because the current technologies of processing multimodal information, it's still pretty much behind. So for example, gesture, facial recognition, especially the fine-grained facial recognition is still not there yet. But when the technology is not there, what you got is just the noise, right? So we often heard about from machine learning community, garbage in, garbage out. So we don't want the garbage in. So that's why. But I think when the technology advances, definitely fusing the multimodal signal to infer psychographic properties, that will be very, very powerful. Again, as I said earlier, when I answered the question about chatbot and cognitive AI agent, it is the cognitive AI agent will become a multimodal. So you can also ingest more information from the human partner, human counterpart. So naturally, you would have that information for more better, more accurate inference. So it's a very good question. Yeah, that's a way definitely to go.
Yeah, and then just another use case question. If this individual wants to leverage a cognitive agent to check the running state of a device plugged into an intelligent outlet and let them know to make further decisions, do you think a cognitive agent is appropriate for such applications?
No, I don't know. Well, depends. So let me just, maybe this is a good question. I'm not sure I can answer this particular question because I don't know the context well. But let me say this one to help the person to assess whether cognitive agent it's good or bad for that situation, for that use case, right? So what I have been, maybe I'm biased a little bit. So in my world, our cognitive AI agent, we're focusing on creating, it's always working with the humans, right? So that's a human interaction engagement. It's a huge part of the function of the cognitive AI agent. Just by the question alone, it says that you want a cognitive AI agent to plug into the intelligent device, I guess, right? So in that case, it is, why would you want the cognitive AI agent unless your intelligent device is detecting the signals of the human signals? For example, human heart rate, the human emotional signals. If you have such a device, right? Human maybe biological signals. Yes, in that case, your cognitive AI agent will get more signals. For example, just think about this way. Let's say the cognitive AI agent is plugged into your device, detect your pulse, heart rate, or blood pressure, right? Then interacting with you, not only this cognitive AI agent knows who you are psychologically, now also knows you biologically, physiologically, then it can give you better advice. For example, it said is, Michelle, I know that you are usually a very calm person, but this moment your heart beats so fast. What's going on? You see? In this case, we said, oh, maybe you want to calm down. It's not very good for your health, for example. Or maybe let's say connected into the sleep device, sleep detecting device, right? So then in the morning, when my cognitive AI agent, let's say from my healthcare companion, will tell me the same, Michelle, I detected this last night you didn't sleep very well. And I know that you normally, it's a very worry-free person. So what's going on? So did you see? Just more signal to the cognitive agents, the enable communities to help the people more. So all we're talking about it is help people more directly and by using the signals.
Right, great answer.
I hope I use this example to answer the question. It is then you can decide whether that, for example, but if you're talking about the intelligent device, many of them maybe detect, let's say on the street, detect how many cars pass over, but it doesn't to do with individual humans, then I would say it may not be the very most useful use case in that situation. Oh, what my useful is to help people to decide how you buy insurance. Say this, okay, I know that your car, you always drive past that particular intersection that have a high volume, often high probability of the accident. Okay, maybe in that case, you want to buy the, not just collision, maybe buy the full insurance. That might be. Basically, again, as you can see, doesn't matter what I said, the ultimate goal is to help humans. And not just a human at a very high level, it's a human individual to meet individual needs.
Great. So that hits the 3 o'clock mark.
Okay.
So Michelle, I guess, did you want to take on more questions or did you want to just end it up here?
I want to do, sorry, because I have another appointment. So
Yeah.
in a next actually half an hour, so I have to go get a quick lunch first. So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah,
Perfect.
so I sorry, couldn't take more here, but um if you have the questions, I will be happy to answer and send it back. I normally do that, right? I normally very good at that. And then I answer the questions, I will send it back, and then you can distribute it in a way people want. I would, if you want, I would have, I say Hendra. Hi, Hendra. And to put it actually maybe in our LinkedIn, something the people interested in can welcome to go there to check, right? No, I say Hendra. Hendra is my husband's friend. The Hendra is in I'm
Okay.
gonna take a
Well,
picture.
yeah. So yeah, any further questions, just email Helen and she'll forward it to Michelle and they'll get back with you with an answer or something like that. So I guess I'll just wrap up the meetup. Michelle, thanks for being in the meetup today. Great answers on the questions and just overall great presentation. Um, and yeah, for everyone else, thanks for joining. It was a full 2 hour for sure, this one. I hope you guys took a lot. It's a slight deviation from our usual topic, which is quantum computing, but it's okay because, technology, we love technology. And just want to remind everyone that the next meetup is January 28th on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to hop in for that, accelerating materials discovery with AI and ML.
Oh,
On that end, that's everything for me. Michelle, Helen, did you have anything to add or?
I just want to thank everybody who stick to the end because um, especially on a Saturday morning. I mean, you guys Saturday afternoon already, so I really appreciate all of you being here. And again, as I said, it is you are most welcome to reach out to me for any of the reasons you could possibly come up with, right? Collaboration and questions. I'll be happy to connect. Thank you again, Yo, and also Helen for organizing it, for inviting me. I really appreciated the opportunity to just get to know another community, and it's an honor to be here and to virtually meet all the people here.
Yeah, no, it's great to meet you as well. Everyone else, thank you for joining on a Saturday. And yeah, see you at the next meetup at the end of the month.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye. Yeah. Mhm.
Bye.